This title is narrated with virtual voice, computer-generated narration for audiobooks. When the Dandelions Sing, by James J. Hill III. Dear Self. No, that just makes no sense at all. Writing a letter to my much older self should not start off as Dear Self, although, well, I am writing to myself, technically. Kind of seems strange to refer to me by my name, though, so maybe Dear Self works? Maybe I can just write it and use my given name. Dear Ronnie. Should I use my full name, or is that too much? I do not want my older self to think I was a dweeb for writing out my full birth name, Ronnie Jefferson McFarland, Jr. That would seem as if I were trying to sound too grown up, and although I am for my current age, that may be pushing my intelligence a little. Not even I would believe it when I read it, to be honest. Was I important enough to get away with that? I could use my Grammy's nickname for me. Jasper. It means nothing, really. At least, I don't think it does anyway. But when I was a baby, she told my mama I did not look much like a Ronnie to her. She was actually dumbfounded that Mama had named me Ronnie, and not Ronald or Donald or something that Ronnie would derive from. No, she just called me Ronnie, which brings about another curious issue. How was I Ronnie Jefferson McFarland, Jr. if my daddy's name, as far as I knew anyway, was not even Ronnie Sr.? So Grammy told my mama she was not going to be calling her grandson a name that made no sense to her at all. Nope, I looked like a Jasper to her, so she would call me Jasper, and that was that. I liked Jasper. It was kind of a funny name, but still, it did have a certain ring to it. When Grammy would call us in to eat, she would just scream for my brother and sisters by their own names, and then, last, but not least, she would scream, "Jasper, get in here, supper's almost ready." None of my siblings had a special name like that. They had dumb names like David and Janet and Thelma Louise. Nope, not me. I was not ever going to be Ronnie to her. I was Jasper, and that was perfectly fine by me. It set me apart because I was clearly Grammy's favorite. She would not tell me that, but we all knew. Davy teased me about it all the time, telling me Jasper meant that Grammy thought I was stupid, or that because I did not have a real first name like they did, that she made that one up because she figured any foolish name would do. He said she just found it while she was in town one day, and some guys were teasing each other, calling themselves Jaspers. I knew better, though. Grammy, even when hollering at us all for whatever dumb thing we had done, would wink at me afterward when the others were too busy getting upset or washing up. She never admitted to it, though. I asked her once about that, and she told me I was acting a fool, that she had not winked, not ever. Not even once. I felt like maybe I had imagined the winking incidents, but the next time we got in trouble for coming in late, all muddy and tracking dirt in the house and onto her gleaming, freshly mopped hardwood flooring, she winked again. She did not smile when she did, though. She just winked, showing the long lines around her eye, and looked away. I knew she did that because I was her Jasper. I was certainly different from the others. The youngest of all the grandkids, and I had the strangest first name to her. So, she took a different liking to me for sure. I just knew it. Back to my pending letter, though. This is harder than I anticipated. I am trying to write a letter to my much older, hopefully, more mature self, because I want to remember the events unfolding here and now. This would be a moment in my life I surely would need to document, so I would never forget it, and I did not even know how to address myself in the letter. If you cannot address yourself properly in a letter, you simply cannot write the letter. Otherwise, it is just a letter to basically anyone. What if I forgot I wrote this letter, and my future older self found it and forgot who wrote it and why? Maybe I would just crumple it up in my hands, throw it away in a wastebasket, and not read it at all, because there was no name to start it off. It was a major problem I had before me for sure. A big dilemma for me, so I asked Davy for advice. "Hey Davy, how do you write a letter to yourself without sounding all stupid and such?" You don't, Davy.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.